Hey, what's up guys? It's Frankie Finn, and for those of you guys who don't know me already, I'm the author of the book Beyond the Agency Box. Since 2007, I've built 3 different agencies up to, 100 plus clients, and I've helped hundreds of people around the world to live this whole cool laptop agency beach lifestyle. As you can see, we're hanging down on the beach. Those are my ladies over there, and we're fucking alone. It's kind of amazing to have this much beach and not a lot of peeps. I know it's a little windy, but I got something awesome for you, and this is inspired by a little bit of the conversations I've been having this week, where people telling me they're getting calls with people, and those people are telling them, can't afford it. I can't afford it. So we're going to talk about what I can't afford it really means, how to figure it out, and how to get past that. So let's get into it. Man, is there anything in the world, by the way, more deflating than working your ass off, getting calls booked on the calendar, talking to people, having these long conversations, feeling like you're getting somewhere, and then they say, well, you know, that sounds cool, but I don't think I can afford that. Now, I'm going to give you 2 different ways to handle this situation in this video. And one of those, by the way, is people assume that when they say, I can't afford it, that they literally cannot afford it. And this does happen. There is some scenarios where this is true, but if you're doing your marketing right, you shouldn't be talking to broke businesses in the first place. But let's presume for a second that they really are broke, that there are no funds in the bank, that there are no opportunities for them to get it, and they just don't have anything. I want to give you the magic script for selling those people, which is don't! Give them the Dikembe. So this can make you think that when you're talking to all these people that, hey, everybody's broke, nobody has any money. And I promise you, you talk to 10 people who tell you are broke, what 9 of them are really saying is, I do not see the value in what you're saying, therefore I couldn't in my mind justify investing in something that doesn't seem like it's worth it to me. And that's a much harder look in the mirror kind of reflection. I help peeps with this in our mastermind all the time. Shameless plug, by the way, if you're in that. We're doing some really cool shit. We just added a module this week for closing people in chat. We don't even do sales calls, just right over text messages. Here's the thing, you want to buy it? It's dangerous to go it alone, my friends. Get some help. I'm going to give you guys some cool help in this. So I want you to understand, when they say, I can't afford it, usually if they wanted to afford it, they could. And a good example of this is, imagine that, like, I saw this was a real ad. A lady posted and said, I have a Porsche 911 Turbo for sale. It's brand new. My husband's, he cheated on me. Fuck him. It's a $250,000 car. I'm going to sell it for $5,000 to the first one who shows up. If you take too long, there's going to be a baseball bat through the window. So somebody bought that car for $5 grand. Do you think if they didn't have $5 grand in the bank, they could find a way, borrow it, put it on a credit card, ask a friend, take out some investments, things like that? Do you think if there was a $250,000 car for sale for $5 grand, they wouldn't come up with $5 grand? So it's not really an issue of could they come up with the $5 grand. It's that it's more of an issue of, like, I don't feel like it's worth it. So I'm going to give you 2 ways of handling this. The first way, by the way, is to figure out why they don't see it's worth it. And the way to do that is just to accept that they don't feel like it's worth it. And just to say, make it, I guess, before I say, you want to make it okay to put the truth on the table. And I do that in the form of saying something like this, or you can do this in the form of saying something like, hey, I totally get it. Other than the money, though, is there anything else that would prevent you from getting this? Because what you'll find, by the way, it ain't about the money, and you need to make it okay for them to tell you the truth, even if they're not going to buy from you right then and there. And so when you get to the truth of this situation, it'll help you determine that almost always the problem is happening earlier in the conversation. And I mentioned this in the last video, but it's so important, is is you're not hitting hard enough on a present problem that they're experiencing, and therefore it's almost always selling some future benefits. So you think about this when people say, I'm going to get you #1 in Google. Is that a today problem, or is that in a year from now I'm going to benefit? In other words, a future gain. When somebody says, I'm going to turn on my Facebook pipeline and in 30 days you'll have more customers than you can shake a stick at, is that in the future, or is that solving a present problem? So almost always this comes out of, you haven't figured out what they're really trying to do. And almost this happens because we're trying to push the conversation forward with the sale. And what you want to do is just focus instead on trying to understand this person and where they are coming from. In fact, only about 1% of any sales conversation should be about your thing. Usually my conversations are like, hey, it sounds like you're just trying to do A, B, and C, and that 1, 2, and 3 would really help you. What do you think about that? Yeah, okay, cool. Do you want to hear about how we help people do that? Sure. Well, we help you do 1, 2, and 3, and if you're interested, here's the price. And if you're not, that's cool too. Right? Like, that's how casual sales can be if you really get this point dialed in. So when people are telling you, I can't afford it, there's a temptation to think that they're cheapskates or they ain't got no money and take it very serious. But what I want you to look at is, rewind in your mind to the beginning of that conversation and when you started talking about the problems they were trying to solve and how you might have better gotten to the truth about what they're trying to fix in their present reality right now. And you'd be amazed. If you hit on that, sales are easy because they want to solve their present day problem. So look, give you an example of this, just how important this is. If I talk to a lawyer, for example, they're not interested in how cool my system is once installed and all the phone calls and stuff they're going to get. They're often just stressed about the fact that their cash flow is up and down today. And I say, man, that really sucks when your cash flow is up and down today. It sounds like you would benefit from an influx of a couple of big cases. Like, we're talking 10, 20, 30 grand would help you pay your employees and get some case managers and things like that. Yes, why it sounds exactly like that, right? They're not interested in my 1, 2, 3 ABC system. They just want something that's going to help them with their present pain and their present cash flow and whatever they're dealing with. So it's a little bit different for everybody. Even though you're going to hear the same kinds of things over and over, everybody has their own unique version of it. So the best thing you can do is just really listen for that and show compassion and show concern and hear them out, and then focus on how you would really solve that problem. And you'll find some of the time it's actually you. You really are their best option, and therefore you should, in all reason, ethically sell them. So a little bit of a rant, hope a quality rant. And if you guys are interested, by the way, in the mastermind, I got 3 spots left. It's really kick-ass, by the way we run our agencies, hands off, but getting clients results through our processes and our systems and our closing people over video and chat and keeping clients informed and happy and all that goodness. So if you guys are interested in that, shoot me a message by email or on Facebook. And that's all I got for you guys in this video, by the way. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and may the force be with you.